All right, so there's the deck tech, and one of the cool things that we have is Kaitiri, who is streaming. So let me go ahead and cut over to that, who we will be watching. Plays off against PTK Tempo, big community member, been around since the beginning, at least for as long as I can remember. So this should be a fun and exciting match. Let me get the match info updated.
Also, need to give out the props to Hans for being the second player to advance from Group A. He and Flexolol ended up tied, but he beat Flexolol. You may recall that Hans started 0-2, losing a close match to Decurion on camera featured stream in the second round. After that 0-2 start, he came back one out to finish with a 5-2 record and the tiebreaker over Flexolol, and he will advance to the top 16. So this is why good players don't go on tilt.
That is the truth. All right. So congrats to Hans, which I think is a very expected kind of a thing. Hans, very, very highly competitive player, very, very good player in SoulForge. So he makes it to the top 16.
Looks like we're waiting for the match to start still.
Yep, looks like just waiting to get that going. But what do you guys think of that deck? I mean, how do you think it's going to fare here? We do have the deck list now for all of Group F. If we sneak a peek at what PTK is playing, looks like it's kind of your traditional Brood Queen deck, although it is running the Nether Shrieks. Not all of them do that. It also has Nephrax as well. So a little bit of a difference. I mean, like, all of the decks, there's probably, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different kinds of Brood Queen decks floating around there, all at varying different stages of competitiveness against other decks in the meta, or even in kind of a Brood Queen-esque mirror. So
yep. No, there's like a sub-meta of, there's like a Brood Queen sub-meta where different types of Brood Queen decks have different matchups against each other, because, you know, Brood Queen in and of itself is really just one card, a very, very powerful card. But you know, you have all of your different flavors. You have Grow Wide, you have Life Gain, you have like Value and Disruption. There's so many different ways that you can build it, because Brood Queen, I mean, the core of the deck is really only a handful of cards: Tarsus, Brood Queen, and Varnus Pact.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. So a lot of people might think a deck like this is going to suffer against Brood Queen, but Kaitiri is a really great pilot. If any of you guys watched The Forge, which is Tiny Grimes and Jake Almighty's kind of like weekly showdown match, Kaitiri won that, granted with a different deck list. It was a UT deck list, but still kind of a flame break, removal kind of list. So if anybody knows the matchup and has that potential for beating it, Kaitiri's definitely got it down.
Yeah, and the trick with the Tempest based Flame Shaper and Invoker decks is that quite often it doesn't even it doesn't matter if you don't have any creatures on the board, as long as they don't have any high power creatures on the board that matter. It's okay to just leave a Brood Queen sitting if you don't have any creatures, because it's only going to be doing a few damage, like just a small handful of damage, and just as they play other things, you just kill those instead. Now, the Flame Shaper variant is a little tougher, because you have to get your creatures out. You have to play your Flame Shapers. You have to play your Masters. And you're actually trying to avoid leveling spells as much as possible. So there's a very delicate balance in player level 1 on how many creatures you can play and how many spells you can cast, so that you can still trigger you can still cast spells to trigger Flame Shapers. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to fare against Brood Queen, but surprisingly, at least in my testing with most of the AT based decks, Brood Queen matchup is usually around 50%. It's not overwhelming in any direction, and quite often the games get rather close. It's true that Brood Queen can can just overrun you, or I should say Necromutera can just overrun you right away. But if the game starts to go long, it's very, very close matchup.
Yeah.
Terrible hand for for Kaitiri.
That first hand was awful. A whole bunch of spells, so he ends up just going to the face with the lightning spark. I almost kind of wonder if it was just as well to discard and level a spell that maybe you wanted a little bit more. But I don't know that he's necessarily too disappointed in leveling a lightning spark. So we'll have to see how that ends up playing out.
I do agree with the lightning spark, especially since he doesn't get a creature right away because it goes to 8 damage. Which is a little better than the Flame Lance 7 damage. 8 damage is a key number quite often, just like 6 damage. And so Flame Lance, you basically need to have an Invoker on the field to make sure that it can do as much damage as you need it to do. Whereas the Lightning Spark, you don't. You can just cast it, and it's just a burnout.
Sorry, getting things updated down below, so bracket is down there. I had it all typed in, but I forgot to submit it, so it didn't actually update. So that'll be down below there, as well as the normal deck list link is now updated also with lists from Group F.
So Kaitiri in chat says that he misplayed that first hand. He should have leveled a Duranti Bolt. Really, I think that subconsciously he was remembering that he can cast those Duranti Bolts on his own leveled Flame Shaper savants so that they don't attack into blocking creatures the next turn. So I think that's what's going on here. Wow, straight for the Nephrex. And that's actually really, really good play for PTK Tempo, just to get that Nephrex down early. He knows that Kaitiri doesn't have any spells that can kill it, since he got rid of the other burn spell that he could chain off of the Static Shocks. But that's okay, because Kaitiri doesn't even want to play those Static Shocks. He's going to drop that. He's going to drop the Hound in front of the Nephrex, shrinking it down, and just get that Flame Shaper into an open lane, leveling it. This is exactly what Kaitiri wants to be doing. He wants to be able to, for free, put down those savants and not have to deal with any pressure.
Breaking in here quickly, we have Gadabekt and Still Had All D's are advancing from Group C into the top 16. It's not clear yet which of them will be Seed 1 and which of them will be Seed 2.
Can we get this match restarted immediately, please? This is a timed match and they're supposed to be untimed. And it is still second turn. So can we have this restarted? Please. Thank you for catching that, chat. I did not notice that right away. But these need to be untimed matches.
Oh, dear.
Especially after the last tournament, where it became an issue. We are very, very, very clear that these need to follow whatever the rules state.
Yep.
So this needs to be a restarted match.
All right.
Yeah.
Can anyone message them directly?
Yeah. Just for the sake of Gotta Be KD, that is how you say it. It's not a. It's the name is Gotta Be KD. I got you, man.
My apologies. Great performance. My apologies for the pronunciation. Obviously, one of the top players in the game, putting together a great performance in 2 tournaments in a row. So, we need to learn that. I need to learn that.
Okay, so it looks like they're getting it squared.
Yep.
So
got confirmation in chat. So this match will be restarted. Shortly. And Kaitiri can again fail to level the Uranti Bolt.
We want this as an untimed tournament because it is the biggest and last event of the year, as far as our Forge Watch events go, and we want players to play at their best ability, and we want to give them time to think out their plays. Yeah. There is some merit to skill of working under a clock, but they already did that for a full 9 months of our last tournaments. So this is an untimed event.
Yep.
They've already proven that they can work under a clock.
And really, our high caliber players are also some of our best community members, which is why you see a lot of open hands where people aren't worried about ghosting on streams. We want the best viewing experience possible. We want the best playing experience possible.
Did anybody notify PTK yet about the restart? Because I know Kaitiri's in chat, but I don't know if PTK is.
Oh, he's got his chat's on a delay, or his stream's on a delay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
So no worries. It will restart soon. So I guess we can always talk about the we could always talk about this matchup a little more.
Yeah.
Or we could go over the standings some while we wait.
No, I think this is interesting because we're kind of getting like a little bit of a preview of how things are going to play out, and at least some of the leveling priorities that we're seeing. I think PTK Tempo making a smart move in getting those etherphages leveled. I think that's going to be a huge part of his strategy and making sure that Kaitiri kind of gets locked down a little bit.
Yep, and also with the Grimgaunt Doom Rider having a high toughness creature that grows, that also is also very evasive, very important for PTK to level because pretty much all of Kaitiri's removal is damage based. So high health, very good. And agreed with the Aetherphage. Unfortunately I shouldn't say unfortunately for PTK Tempo, but a lot of, because Kaitiri has such a high spell count, the Aetherphage, while not as effective as it could be, is going to be effective enough that it's really going to change how the games play out. All right, now we're getting the restart here. ISTDI. Interesting. All right. Oh, look at that silver count for Kaitiri.
Yeah,
it's been saving.
Rocking it for
that's
that magical crafting day.
That's like 6 legends right there. What would you? So, if we ever get to talk to him again, I'm gonna have to ask him what legends he's saving up for. Because as he said, he actually doesn't have like a full set of cards. He's still playing with a pretty limited collection. Mm-hmm. Only recently starting to get legendaries in his account.
Yeah, well, and the thing is he's found his deck. You know, I mean, this is a deck that he's been playing for a really long time, at least as far as the Forge Watch Invitational qualifiers went. I think I've been seeing Kaitiri play modifications of this deck for quite some time, and you know, when you've got a deck that you place really high with consistently, you know, who needs other cards at that point, because you've kind of found what works for you.
He's like me, but good.
Kaitiri, what we all wish Raven would have been.
All right. So this is currently working out really well for Kaitiri. He did get the early Flame Shaper, which is supremely necessary. While this deck can function, it can with the addition of Invoker, it can function without leveled Flame Shapers, but only barely. And excuse me for a moment.
Yeah. kind of an interesting setup here. I'm wondering if we're going to see that Dire Hound get played out just to kind of finish off the Scatter Spore. I mean, depending on how Kaiteri wants to roll with this, I could also see easily double Flame Shapers just to make sure that all three of them get leveled up going into player level 2. I think that, if you think back to the old Flame Shaper days, one of the biggest problems was just making sure that you got them, and it wasn't nearly as difficult with NT when you were doing NT Shapers because you had 6 of them, but when Rajan was playing his AT version, he was only running the Flame Shaper, and most losses generally just came from not getting the Flame Shapers when you needed them.
Yep, you either didn't get your Flame Shapers or you didn't. And even though I had Energy Surge and Gox to try and find them, it definitely the big problem with the deck was just not drawing the Flame Shapers. Now, PTK, I was going to say he probably shouldn't have blocked with that Tree Folk, but what he was doing was he was setting himself up to draw either a Grimgaunt Devourer or a Grimgaunt Doom Rider. He would have preferred the Doom Rider.
Yeah.
But getting a Devourer isn't a bad thing.
Well, I think that Devourer is actually, looking at his deck list, that is the only Devourer he has in his deck. So,
really? I thought didn't we see him play a Doom Rider in the...
No, it's the only Devourer he has in his deck. So he's got 3 Doom Riders, but he's only got 1 Devourer. So that is his singleton Devourer there. Alt art, by the way, not bad there.
They all, half of them start with D's and they all end in ers or ors. It all sounds the same. So Kaiteri has a decision point here. Basically, the decision point is I'm going to play 2 Flame Shapers, but where am I going to play them? So it does look like he's just going to prevent the damage, go ahead and kill the Scatter Spore, prevent some damage. Most likely, and then if I was playing, I would actually go ahead and also block the Aetherphage, because that's going to prevent the most damage. And it sucks that Grimgaunt Devourer would then get up to 11, 12, get up to 12 health, but he's getting near player level 2, and taking out stuff that has like 12 health, 15 health is actually not that hard, and you can do it while still maintaining board presence. So I think he's going to be pretty safe leveling both of those Flame Shapers.
I don't know. I think he's got to play that Dire Hound because it's starting to get a little out of control there. And,
now we have only seen 1 Invoker. So it's entirely probable that he's going to be picking up an Invoker in the next turn.
Well, and I think that's the kind of thing that you bank on. Okay, sure, I'm going to take 8 damage from a Seedling and an Aetherphage, but I can use my Invoker later to sweep it out, and Dire Hound allows him to get that trade on with the Grimgaunt.
Yeah, but although
there's the chain.
Actually, with the Aetherphage, with the Aetherphage still sitting at 1, why not just block with the Savant? And he is going for it. I must be behind in stream because I think you already said that they had moved on.
Yeah, so I'm thinking at this point, he's got some really good options here for taking stuff out, and at the very least, even if he doesn't need the second trigger, he could Varnis Pact, get that leveled at this point as well. So, Static Shock probably going to get ditched here, I think, if PTK is playing it right. He doesn't know that there's an Invoker in hand, but he's seeing 4 spells, and to me, Static Shock is probably the safest one when you're staring at 2 of your creatures that have only 1 health.
Yeah, and I have to reload the stream because I am pretty far behind.
Yeah, okay.
You were finishing up that sentence when I saw that Aetherphage come down.
Oh, yeah. Nephrax comes down to eat the Seedling, make the Grimgaunt a little bit bigger so that way it survives combat. Pretty smart move there.
Yep.
Little does he know.
Yeah.
Going to be a little bit tough, though, to get it clear on that Nephrax, though, without without that Static Shock. Static Shock would have actually been pretty dangerous because he could have gone Invoker, Static Shock Burnout, and essentially clear the board.
Yeah, and that definitely would have been the play. And quite honestly, here he's likely to have to play the Burnout anyway, just to clear out the Aether Phage while leaving the Lightning Spark at level 1 to trigger off of Master of Elements and Flame Shaper. I almost called it Game Shaper. He is also, unfortunately, going to have to block that Devourer with the Invoker just to save some life.
Right. And he's got to do something, though, about that Nephrax, otherwise it's really just going to wreak some havoc.
Yeah, and actually, it's going ahead and just, dropping the Burnout on the Nephrax just to get it low enough for sweepers later. He is running Conflagrates. We can definitely start seeing Invoker 2s start showing up. Flame Shaper 2s will start showing up. Just making sure that everything is at a reasonably low health. There's a lot of damage spread available in Kaitiri's deck. So even though it looks like, it's a full board, Kaitiri's in a lot of trouble, it's very easy with 2 or 3 plays to just clear out a board and then suddenly...
just own everything.
And then suddenly say, okay, PTK, ball's in your court now.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So, yeah, player level 1 for this deck is often just, I need to mitigate as much damage as possible and then hope to stabilize later.
Yep. And I'm also liking PTK's avoidance of leveling Brood Queens. They're not very effective against Kaitiri's deck because Kaitiri's creatures, when they come down, they're already getting value. They come down, they do something. They've already gotten their value. So if you're sacrificing your own creatures to kill those creatures that have already gotten value, you're actually putting yourself behind. And Brood Queen doesn't really apply a ton of pressure. So we see Kaitiri is eyeing that Varna's Pact.
Yeah. It's just really trying to think this through, wants to make sure... Because, plays right now make a huge impact on later, and we talked about how it's all, from Kaitiri's perspective, at least from the way I've seen the deck get played, it's all about what he's leveling now as to how things will turn out later.
No, it's always entirely about what you're leveling now. And he does go for leveling up the Lightning Spark and taking out the Phage.
This could be good. Really
good. Whoa, this is why.
What an amazing draw!
Yeah,
this is why you play Shapers. It doesn't matter if PTK is dropping.
You hear how excited Rager's getting?
Yeah.
No, this is the God draw. I mean, it's one step away from the God draw. The God draw is Shaper, Master, Static Shock, Burn Spell. But sorry, I just got really excited just to see this right away. But no, this is why you play this deck.
Yeah, well, he's gonna play his whole hand here in its entirety. It's beautiful. Well, almost. Sorry, he's going to be down one.
Yep.
One lance, but I mean, almost his entire hand here, and a lot of burn to fling around, which is good because PTK just filled the board. So.
Yep. All right. So So basically, what's going to happen? We're going to see a Flame Shaper come down, probably in front of the Brood Queen. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's in front of the Brood Queen or not. I'm just putting it there for now. Master's going to go in front of the Nephrax. We're going to see. Okay, I have to remember my Shaper math now. Static Shock on Tarsus. Trigger hits Spirit. Flame Lance on Tarsus. Trigger hits Spirit, leaving just a Brood Fang and a Brood Queen with no targets. And actually, I take it back. I wouldn't bother blocking the Brood Queen with the Flame Shaper. Flame Shaper can just sit in lane 1.
It's an interesting question. How much better is Ashurian Flame Sculptor going to make this deck?
Ooh.
That's something to be determined.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Just for any viewers that might not have seen it, can you tell us what that does?
Oh,
this is code for I don't remember what it does.
Right. Flame Sculptor is essentially the Master of Elements pseudo clone. It has different stats, obviously, but it's consistent and has the same ability. So you play the level 2, you get a level 1 spell, a Tempest spell for free.
Is it Tempe's spell only though?
Yes, it is. So I mean, it's not entirely like Master because it is faction restricted. But generally speaking, in this deck, you're probably going to be playing a lot of those Tempest spells anyway. So.
Oh, and then the double Flame Shaper, the other reason why you play this deck. It's bringing tears to my eyes, guys.
and really great, honestly, to leave the Brood Queen and the Brood Fang just sitting there because Brood Queen can't do jack against these creatures because they're level 2.
Yep.
And Brood Fang is so low on health that it's going to be a piece of cake for him to be able to clear the board off. So.
Yep. So the other cool thing about Flame Shaper is that it doesn't just trigger on spells; it triggers on anything. So he can actually level up that Master of Elements, and it will trigger. Now, unfortunately for Kaitiri, now he has a lot of targets that he needs to clear. He for sure needs to clear the Brood Queen. He for sure needs to clear the Death Weaver. He doesn't have another Static Shock. That's unfortunate, but it's not a killer.
I'm thinking probably the Conflag is coming down at this point. To help make some trades. Splits damage up a little bit.
Because you can conflag the Brood Fang and the Brood Queen to drop both triggers on the Brood Queen. That's 11 damage. And then trying to think if there is a good way to keep the other Savant alive.
So I think you have to give up the Flame Shaper in 1, play Flame Shaper in 2, and conflagrate the Brood Queen in 4 and the Death Weaver.
Yeah, just get the Death Weaver off the board.
Leaves a level 1 Brood Fang on the field to your level 2 Flame Shaper.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep, and we're going to see double triggers on the Brood Queen. Although you don't necessarily have to... Yeah. Okay.
And if there's no Aetherphage coming down this turn, this is actually going to be fairly insane. Heck, it's still going to be a good turn anyways.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get a Static Shock Chain, it's pretty good.
He's got up to 17 on any given creature.
Yeah. PTK, though, I mean, he's leveled at least 1. Did he get a second one? I think he did. Can't remember.
I think he only leveled 1 Brood Queen.
No, I'm talking Aetherphage. He's got 3 in the deck, and any of those 3 would be able to dunk the Static Shock.
Yeah, but even with the burnout, even without the Static Shock, he's still in a good spot.
Yeah.
4, 8.
Just because burnout is a total of 17.
He can do 21 damage to any creature right now.
This is not good for PTK by the looks of it. I mean, he's going to get at least 2 triggers because I'm sure he's going to Static Shock into something else, and then just depending on whether or not he wants a creature leveled or who knows if he. Because getting the burnout, I mean, thins his deck a little bit, but I don't know.
He could actually I feel like double overload here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's in a very good spot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this board's cleared. Static Shock power.
It's kind of,
Yeah. Static Shock on Devour, trigger on Devour,
Yep, there goes.
lightnings or burnout on he's doing it. Then he's just going to play a Master of Elements. So yes.
Yep.
Oh no! Don't cancel. Get that damage. Get aggressive. Get aggressive, boy.
Oh, and there's a Flame Break Invoker as well as another Burnout.
Yep.
Yep.
And a Static Shock Chain.
This is just bad news for PTK.
Yeah. Well, there goes the Flame Shaper at least. But
That Eidolon's not survived.
oh, and neither is a Doom Rider, honestly, through this. I don't... Well, both the Doom Rider and the Eidolon going down this time to a series of chains. You have to plan this, though, because if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to block the Doom Rider, just remember, you kill the Eidolon and Doom Rider's
he's not
moving.
going to block. He's just going to kill the Doom Rider. He's going to put the Invoker into a lane that's not in front of the Eidolon.
Right.
Static Shock Face, which kills the Eidolon.
And then Flame Lance.
And then just Flame Lance the Doom Rider. We're done here.
It's exactly enough.
Well, it's going to get a
without
buff.
having to burn out.
It's going to get the buff,
No, it's
though.
going to get a buff of 1.
And
he's
it's going to
getting-
take 4 from triggers.
Invoker's
Oh, 4
taking
from triggers. Yeah, sorry.
Triggers.
This is why I can't play this deck, man.
No, Invoker.
Sometimes I just math so bad.
Yeah. Shaper math is hard. Invoker math is harder. Invoker plus Shaper math is just mind-boggling. But he does get the math right. Getting aggressive. PTK
Oh,
now under pressure.
this is
I love this deck so much.
so good.
Oh, there goes Aetherphage.
Okay, sure, Aetherphage,
So-
whatever.
Take your steps.
Take the Static Shock, but even still, Invoker can flag is just like, okay, see ya, board.
Forwards. Oh, it's not gone. Aetherphage doesn't die.
Well, no, Aetherphage
No,
will die
it'll
after
die
all
to
the
combat.
triggers. Yeah, it'll die to combat, if nothing else.
Yeah. Not ideal, because you want the Invoker to survive.
Yeah.
Just needs 1 more damage. It's too bad.
Oh no. He played another creature. He doesn't even have to point the conflag at Aetherphage. He can just kill the tree folk. Oh wait. No, he does have to point it at the Aetherphage because he's only got 1 target.
Yeah, I was going to say, he has to point it there because he doesn't have any other choice.
I thought it was
he can't
post-combat there
play
for a second.
the conflag without it, so,
Still, whatever.
yeah.
This is a fantastic spot to be in.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wait, you know what? Actually...
He probably
Yeah, okay.
could have killed it. Oh,
Wow, sorry. I'm having... My video
my
keeps on
gosh.
loading and reloading.
oh, just wait.
Oh my gosh.
Just wait.
Jeez, yeah. These are the draws that everybody dreams of when they play Flame Break. It's...
I'm sorry, PTK, for your impending
Demise.
damage. I'm not going to say demise until the game is actually over, but impending damage.
Yeah.
The chat, look at the chat.
Oh my gosh. This is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the hand yet because my stream is reloading.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's...
Oh my
never
god!
mind, apparently you saw it. Yeah.
So, Flame Shaper, Master, Static Shock, Burnout, are we done? Conflagrate is not better than Burnout here.
No, definitely not. I mean, well, and it won't survive long enough because as soon as the Static Shock goes down, it doesn't have a target anymore, so... Yeah.
The damage is there.
Flame Shaper Savant. You're my
I
hero.
can only imagine being PTK on the other side of this. What just happened?
Yeah.
I died.
So, how many of these... So the question is, how many of these Flame Shaper triggers are going to the face?
All of them.
A lot.
Because at this point, it's just like... I mean, especially when you're staring at double Flame Lance, so...
Yeah, no, they're all going to the face.
Yeah. It's...
That's so bad.
Yeah. Yep, there's the
So-
concession.
14 damage to the face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations to Kaitiri for taking down that game in spectacular fashion after your deck tech was shown.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Deck tech.
And he's even earned 100 silver for it.
Yeah, those are up on YouTube, right? Right, Rajan?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, we'll make sure that they're up on YouTube and for all of the deck techs that we're going to show today, so that way you guys can look at them and hopefully we get to kind of keep doing this, do the deck tech and then see the people in action. I think that would be a lot of fun. So congrats to Kaitiri for that one, and we'll play.
Kaitiri is officially the legend of this tournament.
Yeah.
It made me so happy, guys.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start petitioning for like Kaitiri new Tempest faction leader because of the way that
Kaitiri is the new Forgeborn.
Yeah, the new Forgeborn. So there you go. All right, so let's. I'm getting instruction that maybe we just kind of stick here for the next one. I'm not entirely certain who in this bracket might also be streaming or who from previous brackets. Let me kind of get a refresh, and we'll see if we can get another person, another game going here in a little while. Oh, hey, there's Nimzo Indian streaming, so maybe we'll hop in there a little later. We also have Keldrogo, who's doing some streaming. So it's still a lot of good streamers. It's going to be a fun full day of Soulforge. It is not over yet, that is for certain. Got a lot of pods yet to still finish up here.
I believe it is time for another giveaway, by the way.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I think, for this one, I want to do hashtag Shapers Are Real.
Shapers
yeah.
are real. So I'll go ahead and
punch
that into the chat so people know what to copy paste.
The only disappointment about that game, those were not Altart Flame Shapers or Altart Masters.
Oh, that's true.
There was no alternate art.
Kaitiri, you have work to do.
You do have work to do. You got to trick out your deck. Those weren't Altart Hounds either. Kaitiri, we're disappointed in you.
Yeah, I remember like a while ago, back during the old Shaper meta where I bought those Altart Flame Shapers, and then when Shaper meta died, I was just like, oh, crap, what am I going to do with these?
You kidding? Yep. I've been jamming them at every opportunity.
I know.
By the way, we are a half hour late on this this giveaway, so we'll have to do another one after the next round. I'm sure the viewers won't complain.
No, definitely.
Kaitiri, if you want to give me the Altart ones.
Well, so there are some fabulous prizes for the top 16, including large quantities of gold. So I'm sure that if Kaitiri can advance to the top 8 or the top 4, he should find enough gold to trick out his deck.
The thing is like, but isn't he like he's advertising the deck without legends? He might have to develop a pay alt account.
An alt account that is actually paid. That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and don't forget, you can get the Altart Hounds this weekend.
Yep. So throw that promotion back out there again. For those of you who haven't stepped into the client but love your alt art, there is the celebration drafts and constructed tournaments that Soulforge is. Stoneblade is running essentially in Soulforge, and just for participating, you get an alt art Zithian Direhound.
I have 2 currently.
Yeah.
My third one will appear tonight.
Yes.
Magically in your account.
I mean, even if for whatever reason you don't like constructed or draft, but you love alt art, it's worth the 9 tickets to just go into constructed.
I was gonna say, just go into the constructed queue, hit concede.
Yeah.
Preferably when you're against Ratron.
Yeah, I definitely need the wins, guys. Come on. Help a brother out. I'm kidding. I'm doing okay.
So, who's Kateri's next match?
Yeah, that is a good question. Let me pull that up. That's actually against Nimzo Indian. I wonder... I'm going to pull up his stream, because he's streaming as well, and maybe we'll be able to do the whole double hand thing. Otherwise, multi-twitch it up, guys, and you can kind of watch both hands from there, but hopefully we can get a little something fun there. So I'll keep an eye on that, so if you see the stream suddenly jumping around, it's because I'm adjusting it to get a second hand involved.
Ooh, more hands.
About the hands.
Speaking of which, I need to get switch back to multi-twitch so I can...
Toss me that link when you're done, sir.
Kaitiri underscore, and then who was the other?
Chessrk is the Twitch channel. But he's got the Forge Watch Invitational Nimzo Indian as his title. So we'll see kind of how the first few hands play up, and if I can, I'll get that switched over.
Time to roll, by the way.
Looks like Kaitiri's probably streaming on a delay. Nimzo Indian is already in, and there's a couple of cards played on his stream. So he's playing Aloyan Necrium. I'm kind of thinking maybe...
Let's go that way.
Yeah, let's actually bring that up as the main one since it's already rolling.
You want to go ahead and... Thank you.
I will punch that into chat.
Let's...
thank you. I was having trouble finding it.
Let's give out a 1,300 gold code this time.
Ooh.
That's a tasty amount of gold.
So there's the link to the channel, just so that way you guys can see it. But gotta love the Aloyan Necrium, and I totally see a Citadel Guard.
Tom, who won?
Oh yeah, I gotta do that roll, huh? That's important. Rolling, it is 789.
789. You won. Free iPod Nano.
Oh gosh.
If only.
Right. I think Stoneblade, we're petitioning for better prizes.
Everybody wants an iPod.
Somehow I don't think that there are going to be many Citadel Guards played in this matchup.
Yeah.
Just a sneaking suspicion.
Not quite the card for this matchup. Fox has some experience playing Citadel Guard in his competitive deck. But,
it's fun.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's mostly just a lane clogger, and against a deck like Hyteria's, I don't think that's really the direction you care about much.
Nope,
Not really.
it's an underdrop.
Yeah.
And sometimes a very good rank 1 play to stop aggression.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give 789 another 30 seconds or so to post. Not seen a post from him yet.
That is a lot of Killians.
Yeah. My commentary is going to be in and out because this is constantly reloading for me. My internet's very bad.
Oh man.
The fact you can
Killians
even
just
hear
got
me speak is a
Killian.
miracle. That is a lot of Killians.
I can't imagine we're not seeing the third Killian come down.
Why not the Metamind here?
All right, 789. We're going to give you about 30 seconds.
He gets the level of Gox.
Probably more like a minute because of the delay, but...
I assume what he's trying to do is overload Kaitiri's removal in rank 2.
Yeah. I could totally... Oh, he's blocking. I would totally have free laned that. I mean, granted, we're about to go
there
into
we
player
go.
level 2,
There
so
we go.
it matters a lot less. But in player level 1, you don't want to block masters and shapers. You just don't care. You want to be as aggressive as possible.
Mhm.
789, check your other box. That is most likely where it's going to be. Congratulations on your gold. Do whatever you want with it. If you want to give it away, you're welcome to. If you want to spend it on yourself, you can do that too. If you want to chop up the code into little bitty pieces and eat it, you would have to print it out first, and then you'd still have the code anyway. So I recommend that one.
So was that a Dire Hound that was played just to have a 29 card deck?
Mm-hmm. That's
Man,
exactly what
I love new shapers. I do have one issue with new shapers though. How am I supposed to play Energy Surge if I'm playing Necrium?
It's
But
funny.
you do get to play. You do get to play Pact.
I was going to say that I think
Pact
that's
is
the one
good times.
faction combination he hasn't done yet, because we've seen his Utera Tempest version on the Forge just a few days ago, and now we're seeing the Necrium Tempest version. So no Aloyan Tempest love there from Kaitiri. Sorry.
But you get access to the best burn spell, Orion Battlebrand.
Technically, you still have access to it in just mono Tempes. And it's totally fine sometimes.
Yeah.
I really like this play, by the way. I'm just going to throw this out there. I really like this play from Nimzo Indian because he's blocking the Flame Shaper and essentially saying, all right, you can spend your burn on getting rid of Killian, but then I've got Cersei over here just waiting to step over and kill the Flame Shaper anyway. So pretty smart move there. I like that.
Yep, really good play there. Just 4 energy surge, up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And reloading.
In the tank for Theory.
So Aloy and Necrium is not a faction combination that we see too often.
We did see it once earlier today. I was pretty excited about that. I personally, it's Utera Necrium and Aloy and Necrium are usually my favorite factions to play. But I play Utera Necrium as like the pump, big regenerator type deck that doesn't do good at all.
Right.
Yeah, Stoutmeister earlier today was on Aloy and Necrium playing the Killian plus Cersei plan.
Ooh.
He actually pulled off a 3.2 Cersei 4 in one of his matches by using Killian to level a Cersei and then drawing it or playing it from his hand.
Nice.
Very nice.
This is so great.
I like to
love it.
Yeah. I like to do that with Iron Maiden.
Yeah. Oh, you're just.
I also like to do it with 2 Killian 3s in hand, because then you Killian 3 and then you play a Killian 4.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's one of the best, the most awesomest things you can do.
Makes you so happy. Now, the problem I have come across one problem with doing that though. You have the option of playing 2 Killians, or you could just play an Iron Maiden. Which one's correct? You just win the game, or do you just
win
know
the game?
or do you know that you're going to win the game?
I like my options better. You just win the game, or you just win the game.
And there's the clear. Got a little bit of chop there. Not entirely certain what happened.
Everything was lost.
I'm gonna pull off Kaitiri's here in a second and see if I can get a repeat on what may have been played there, since that one's on a little bit of a delay. You can...
XX Hickett asks, is there any Forgeborn you don't want in player level 3? Answer, a level 1/1.
Ooh. Good answer.
Snap,
Good
crackle,
answer,
pop.
sir.
Ding!
So interesting thing to note in that hand where Kaitiri was kind of in the tank, had a Varna's Pact 2. Didn't play it, I don't think, given the current board state.
Kaitiri got his first Killian of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I just missed like an entire turn because it jumped ahead back to where it's supposed to be.
Guys, 30-second warning. A code's coming into the chat. Be ready.
Dun dun dun. Everybody have your Control Z, Control V ready. Make sure you have the redeem site up. Make sure you're logged in. Better re-log in right now just to make sure.
Log in and then log in again.
Does that even
log
do
out,
anything?
then log back in.
Yep. You gotta make like Kenny logins here.
Did you? No.
Yes, I did.
Bad Ragerin. Bad.
Stop
And
me.
you can see our viewership has dropped down since a little bit ago. Thank you all for being out here.
All that hard work that Kibler did ruined my pun.
Every time Ragerin makes a pun. Every
A
time.
puppy dies.
So it looks like from some mouse movements on Kaitiri's hand there, he hasn't actually played through it, but it was Static Shock, Flame Lance that ended up clearing the board those a few turns ago. So a couple of Flame Lances and Static Shock getting leveled there.
You're welcome,
and now,
Crazy Chat.
And now everyone starts quoting Archer in the chat. I am proud of you all. And OP Badger has no idea what to do with that code that he could have that could have gotten him some stuff had he just redeemed it at soulforgegame.com/redeem, as was posted in the chat.
Ranger,
Yes?
killing me, Holmes.
So a pretty good place for Nimzo if he decides to drop that Cersei. Getting a Cersei 4 isn't a bad thing ever, especially in a game that's slowly plotting its way toward player level 4 anyway. And we just heard about how Kaiteri isn't really running, hard removal. Just kind of counting on the numbers getting up there. 20 gets hard to get up to sometimes, and then even harder than that 40. So
it did come 30 seconds after I posted in chat that it was going to be 30 seconds Hackworth, though. So that's cool. I appreciate that, but I don't know. I can't help the delay. The delay is real and uninfluenced by Kit.
So I don't know if the game's gone farther ahead. Are we going to see Killian or... I guess that's only a level 1 Gok, so we'll probably see Killian hit play. Oh wow, we're really far ahead. Okay, I'm just so far behind. Never mind.
You should just watch the stream, like our stream.
I think we're about to see a level 4 Cersei come into play.
Oh,
I'm actually going to do that.
Level 4 Cersei on 3.1.
Yep. It's
real.
It's coming.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Dun-dun. Dun-dun.
It's happening.
It brings a whole new meaning to the word card shark.
All right,
Misclick?
so for new
No
players
misclick.
who came from Kibler's Kibler stream earlier, the level 4 Forgeborn that is now in play, one of 5 cards that have a level 4, they all have game-ending abilities if you manage to get them to their level 4 usually. Cersei's literally says if she deals damage to a player, that player takes damage equal to their life total.
Yep.
Which is still not impossible to beat. You just have to deal more damage than you take.
This is true. Well, the trigger happens after combat.
Oh, okay. So if you kill them before the trigger.
Yep. And,
or if you
game, guys.
I think Sayo posted a article, or Shamane posted an article on if you swing with an Oros 4, you can live.
Ooh, smart. Was able to get. He had the Uranti Bolt to save his life. Literally save his life here.
I am so far behind right now.
That's normal.
I'm just going to sit here and
If
watch.
only the jetpack was in hand.
Oh, he is running a jetpack, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think that would have been the best play ever. So all these high-leveled cards in hand, and then all the high-level cards in play, and then just that hand.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Goks. Kaiteri Goks to find an answer right now.
Wow.
I'm sorry, you guys got me started. It's your fault. If you had just not said anything, we'd already be past this.
Adrian, I think it's time for you to go on break, buddy.
After this game, I promise. Can't break the flow of the game. Or the commentary.
And there it is. We just see the concession. So, grats to Nimzo Indian for getting the Cersei 4 win in player level 3.
Beautiful.
The legend is real.
Hello?
Down with Shapers, Rise of
Welcome
the
back,
Forge.
Yamas.
Yamas!
All right, so Ragin, this is the last opportunity you get to make a pun. So make up the punniest hashtag you can come up with, and then that should do it for you, because we're doing the giveaway, the actual 4 o'clock giveaway, since the last one was done at 3:30 instead of 3.
Okay, so the hashtag is going to be did not see that coming.
Wow!
All right.
A+.
Copying that into the
That
chat.
is so painful for you to type, isn't it?
It really
I
is.
can hear it.
Oh my gosh, this chat! Thank you.
I think he's crying.
I'm going on break, guys.
Thanks, Adrian.
Beautiful.
I can't deal with Radrin anymore. Just can't.
Well, it's a good thing him and I are going on break. I will be back in a half hour, so you can go for a half hour, Foxy, after I get back.
Oh, code.
What?
Code.
Oh, I'm gonna give it to you. No
Oh,
worries.
okay. All right. Just making sure. I just want my peoples to have their free stuff, you know?
They want their free stuff too.
Day free stuff.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
Want
want
my
that?
people to have day free stuff.
You got Yamas back in, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Turkus also volunteered to come in later.
Okay.
By the way, for at least the Swiss, I'm trying to if you're not playing in the tournament, feel free. If you couldn't make it today and you want to chill in and jump in chat, I'm sure we don't mind letting you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
I'm not good enough to play in this
So
thing.
I think we're gonna stick to Nimzo for the next round, and we'll then cut back and see if we have anybody else. Just because I don't know. I don't know who else might still be going here.
Oh, Kit, thanks for the gold code.
Oh gosh. All right. So I am going to go ahead and set a break off here, and we'll get rolling. So there's that break off. XJax X13. I'm assuming that's how you say that. I'll go ahead and throw that up here on screen for everybody to see. And I will also type that in chat. But congratulations, go ahead and type something in the chat so that way we can send you your code. No, sadly, I can't give it to you. I have to give it to the person who won it. Awesome. All right.
Oh my god.
What's that?
Oh, he just said that he didn't win. He didn't see it coming.
Oh.
I enjoyed it.
All right. So, XJax X13, check your Twitch messages. It is possible that it can end up in your spam box, in your other box. So do check there just in case. But you win a code, which was for gold? I don't remember. You won a code for something, and it's awesome. So congratulations.
You want a code? Yes, awesome.
All right, so let me go ahead and see who Nimzo is going to be playing in round 3. It looks like it's against Caldrogo, who I think is also streaming. So again, I'll check and see whether or not we've got delays going on, and if not, then we can potentially get a nice double hand thing going here. Cross our fingers for that. Right.
Caldrago's deck looks like he's got a pretty standard Brute Queen list. He does have 2 Wirewood Patriarchs, which I think is kind of sweet, and 1 Shallow Grave. I think those cards are kind of cool. Wirewood Patriarch in particular is really sweet with the level 1 Brute Queen.
So far, so good. Caldrogo doesn't seem to be on a delay. Just kind of thinking through his cards, so I'll see if I can make some adjustments here.
We haven't actually spoiled Rage of Kadros.
Not yet. I haven't
is
even
that
really
happening?
talked too much about it, aside from the fact that it is a legendary spell of an unknown faction.
What faction could it possibly be?
Whatever could it be?
I still hope it's a new Terra spell that incites Rage in Kadros. Oh, we already spoiled Nexus Aeronauts. I think that's already been posted to Reddit as well. You can find it there.
Yeah, it was.
Well, now it's confirmed as spell. Does anyone have the Reddit link?
I do not. But I can actually cut to that while I try to get the hand scenario squared.
Crazy Chan's got us.
Here, we'll just go ahead and cut to it right here because I have to get the secondary hand up anyway. So there it is, brief flash, and we're back. So it looks like Nimzo might actually be on a slight delay because I'm seeing some of Caldrogo's moves go out a little bit sooner here, but we'll keep it up, and it'll at least be a good bit of information here. You can see Nimzo looking up what he's playing against here, kind of wondering why on earth am I seeing a Deathseeker right now?
Deathseeker,
I'm sure.
interesting. I didn't even see that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is he playing the Nephrax to go with? He only has 1 Nephrax though. I think Nephrax Deathseeker is like the cutest thing ever.
Yeah. Okay. Just going to.
So I really like Aether Forging the Energy Surge. I think that's like always happening.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Metamind Overseer?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's the card drop, man. Sometimes, like, you get that 0.4 Overseer, and, like, 2 cards is glorious. It's just like, oh, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, no, it's like, I know the feeling from draft. That card is a powerhouse in draft. But, I don't know, maybe, I don't think Citadel Guard does anything. So, guess you just play the Overseer? Kit, I assume Kit will be back later.
Yeah. Kit should be back in a little bit.
So the delay is a little awkward with the hands sharing.
Yeah. It's because Nimzo's always going to play his card out first. So.
Yeah.
So you're going to see it come out of his hand way sooner than it actually ends up showing up on the board. That's all right.
Yeah, Citadel Guard blocking Deathseeker is interesting.
Did you need me real quick, Yamas?
No.
Okay, I heard you from the other room. I had my thing turned out while I was
Oh,
cooking.
no, we were just saying that you were coming back later for commentary. The people want you, Kit.
I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry I can't be here.
Looks
I
like,
gotta eat. I'm a fat kid, and there's not enough time in the day for me to munch.
We've got Nimzo streams gone down. Might kick it back over.
Okay, Terry?
Yeah, no, to Caldrogo for the
Okay.
time being, just to show. Pay no attention.
Shows what I know is going on.
Get out of here.
When I come back, we should spoil the last card.
Yeah, we totally
You
should.
should do that.
And then
do
you
that now.
you can take your own break. You want to do it now? I'm okay with doing it now.
Well, we're watching a game. We'll do it when this game's over.
All right. I was trying to give the Yamas what he wanted. All right, back to food.
I don't care.
See ya, Kit.
So we just kind of switch things around a little bit. So Khal Drogo now the main screen, and Nimzo hand showing up top there.
And the board has significantly developed.
Yes.
Given the delay.
Yeah.
Eidolon going to get smashed by Cersei. Kind of awesome. Kind of an awesome answer to Eidolon there. Shallow Grave on Tarsus. That's a good combo, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like Nimzo dropped his delay. So we are completely caught up. So we actually should see this a little bit more in real time now. So thank you, Nimzo.
Interesting as well. He couldn't cast Odyssean Siphon there because he had no tarot cards in his hand.
Yeah, you could, but it's always disappointing whenever you do that.
Yeah, because the reason you would cast that would be to shrink the Cersei, but it doesn't do that.
So, in case anyone from Group D earlier today is in the chat, we have an incredibly improbable tie for second place in that pod. And so please watch the Twitter for we're going to have to play some extra games in order to resolve that tie.
Wow. Awesome.
Gotcha. Is it
5 players at 4-3? Is that what's happening? Holy crap. That is...
It's like, all right, y'all get to play each other again. No, we thought about this a little bit beforehand, and so we have some options to make it so that way 5 people aren't playing round robin all over again.
Yeah. Doom Rider and Devour are both going to trigger. It's kind of sweet. Oh, the Seedling's not in the offensive. Maybe, huh. I mean, I guess that's still fine. The Devour is a lot worse when the Seedling's on the defensive. But I mean, Doom Rider's always good. He doesn't need a trigger. He's huge without a trigger.
Yeah. So I mean, what's your play here?
I mean,
you've got culls at I would tend to think a pretty opportune time. So if you want to, you can take out the Doom Rider before it gets too crazy. But then you've also kind of got Devourer, who's...
Yeah, but I mean, his last turn he leveled 2 Epidemic. So if you also like level 2 spells here,
yeah,
I think you're kind of toast going into the next level because you don't have any creatures whatsoever. So I think you have to play the Gox here just to have something in your deck to win with.
Right, and you just hope that you can essentially handle the Devourer in the next player level.
Yeah,
which shouldn't be too hard. It's not crazy out of control here.
I mean, you could block the Devourer with the Gox, but that's super risky. As we see, Khal Drogo has the first short to blow that out. So like I think you probably just want to play the Gox in an open lane and just try to get the card draw for player level 2.
Mm.
Oh wow, he's going for...
Kind of.
Oh yeah, he does go for the Gox. Okay. Okay, so he wants to roar here. That's really nice. That is a huge play, and now this Doom Rider is going to get even bigger, and the Devourer gets bigger, and yeah, well, Nimzo Indian is going to have some epidemics here.
Yeah, that energy surge is going to be desperately needed here to get something that's going to help clear here. So
right now, Aether, the rest of his hand's all 1-for-1s. He needs to get like double epidemic off this energy surge or something crazy.
He at least got single epidemic, which is helpful. It's not going to solve everything, but it definitely sure helps to get this board under control a little bit more.
Oh, is his stream back up?
Yeah, it's back up. He's on a slight delay, so his plays are a little bit behind, but it's working out, at least for showing hands here. So
he has the epidemic and the oracle. Like I assume he levels the energy surge with the oracle.
Yeah.
And there's another Devourer. Brutal.
Yeah. Just
and the Doom Rider
giving
trigger.
up. Yeah. So
and he gets another play. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to play Nephrax.
And what? Just eat the Doom Rider because it's not
you're
really
right,
doing much.
Yeah, because it's just a 4/4. Like you can convert that into a 4/10 that gives you spirits.
Right. It seems good to me. So
and get another Devourer trigger as well.
Yeah.
I like that play a lot, actually. None of the other plays do a whole lot. I guess you could Tarsus to try to hedge against drawing Varnus packs later, which looks like that's what he's going to go for.
Mm.
I like Nephrax there a lot.
Yeah, I really like the idea of Nephrax, but
Yeah.
It's a good board position, and
Yeah, no, I mean, you're definitely happy to be on Khal Drogo's side here.
yeah.
Switch here. What do we have? We have Aetherforge Oracle with no spells, not the greatest. I mean, he doesn't have any 6-power creatures to kill the Devourer with. That's super awkward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he can he can sack the Oracle out in there, but it just I almost hate playing Oracle to essentially nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You know.
like, that's what you have to do. Like,
Yeah, he's got to make these trades.
I think that's one of the reasons Oracle's not been so prevalent is that it's got a terrible body, so you're playing it just for the effect, but it's a super situational effect.
Right.
Now, if Khal Drogo has a removal spell for this Gox, he will be able to keep his Devourer alive. Looks like he has a Roar instead, which is perfectly reasonable. And the Dire Hound, that's going to be game. That has to be game.
Well,
That's,
that Gox is just going to crash into the Dire Hound now, so
Yeah.
it's just flat dead. So Shallow Grave on that Dire Hound could have been good if Nimzo actually had a board, but as it stands,
or life, you know.
Yeah.
Game is just over.
Yeah.
Although he does have double Acolyte here, actually.
It's
Like,
true.
that
So I
does-
guess it could still be a.
Because he can kill the level 1 Devourer,
Mhm.
and then chump the Devourer twice. I don't think you can't jump. You can. Oh,
Well-
you have Cersei. You can Cersei it.
Or I mean,
So if
he
your
could.
plays-
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Oh, he's not dead at all. Oh man, this deck is powerful.
Gosh, yeah. So feel the power of the draws.
Yeah, so you have to like Acolyte in front of the Devourer and Cersei in front of in lane 1, and then you actually don't die when you Epidemic. It's
Mhm.
crazy. That's crazy. This deck is awesome.
Still pretty precarious though. I mean, anytime you're sitting at 6 health to
Oh yeah,
94.
definitely. But I was looking at Khal Drogo's stream without seeing Nimzo Nian's hand, and I was like, oh, this game's completely over. And then I look back at Nimzo Nian's hand, and he's like, suddenly he's got like 10 cards in his hand and like a huge board. Like it's kind of crazy. Or I guess he doesn't actually have a huge board. He's gonna have nothing. but he still has a chance, which is crazy to me.
Mhm.
I mean, I think Khal Drogo's Doom Riders are going to be able to put the game away, just because the mobility is so hard to stop. Things like Nephrax and Brood Queen give him such control,
Mhm.
and let him like push through the last 6 points of damage. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So do you have any information on how the tiebreakers are going to work for Group D?
So I don't know exactly what the
Yes.
the tie situation
Yes.
is there, but yeah. So no Ethereum.
Yes. So, I toss that. So based on the seeding going, we are playing a single elimination play-in little mini bracket to resolve that tie, and as was discussed in the information post that came out ahead of time in the forums and to the participants, and the seeding in the matches in that play-in little bracket are being determined by the seeding in the pod, and the seeding in the group was determined based on performance in our past events throughout the last season. And
Yeah.
so I can probably toss that back into chat, but there's a I just tossed a challenge link. There's a challenge link that shows what the play-in matches are. ML Kayla will play Kung Fu Matt. Hectaris will play Draken. Error Ash gets a bye in the little play-in event because he was the top seed in that group based on his past success. He's the only one in that group who actually pulled a first-place finish in one of the major tournaments in the season, and so he reaps the benefit of that with a bye, and then they will continue to play in. So that's.
That's the way it's got to go.
Yeah, that's the way it's got to go. We were not anticipating a 4-way tie, but that's the way it's got to go.
Yeah,
yeah. Are we gonna what? Are we gonna try to follow that game by game, or?
Do we have anybody who's in that bracket who is streaming? Because that would be interesting.
That's
and
pretty
Michaela,
scary. Winning in, that's definitely scary in this type of event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came back for the spoiler, by the way.
Yeah. So you just tell me when to press the button, and the button will be pressed.
I think I want Notharian to talk about this real quick, since it's a Tempe's card, if he's around to do so. Would you like to introduce this card, Notharian?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm
Super
up to
busy? It's okay.
Yeah, I'm super busy. It's a shame because this is an awesome card, and it's going to bring back an archetype that has been missing from competitive play for way too long.
Shapers.
Alright, well then I will go with the next person on Forge Watch who's absolutely in love with Tempe's, and that is... Come on, you're not jumping at the idea?
Well, I was gonna say me, but I was like, does he mean
I love
me?
Tempe's.
Because
I mean you. You're not on Forge Watch. Get out, Omen.
I freaking love Tempe's. Ever since like the days of like the 4 faction decks that were like the only decks that we could really play with, aside from the other like 2 little demo decks or whatever. I love Tempest aggro, and I'm really hopeful that this card is gonna bring that deck back. I'm hoping that that's the same deck that Matt was thinking about when he said that it's gonna make a comeback.
Is it gonna let us? Oh, I was wondering if it was gonna let us hit people with the Jury and Mystics again, because that's like my favorite thing in the game. That's my favorite thing in the game.
It could.
It's like a Jury and Mystic game.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this is it's a card that I feel like helps aggro decks get ahead, stay ahead, kind of a thing. So it's a little bit of staying power, because most aggro decks tend to peter out the longer the game goes on, but this one could really, really help that out. So definitely liking this card.
So on screen?
Here's the button. Button is pressed. Rage of Kadras.
I can't see it.
I will read
Buttons
it.
have been pressed, and this card is awesome.
It says, each Tempest creature you control gets, in the case of the level 1, +1 attack this turn and deals damage equal to its attack to each other creature in its lane. And then it gets bigger, 1/3/5 attack at each level.
Jeez.
So it's kind of like turning your Tempest creatures into
Yetis.
and playing
That's
a Warlord.
So this is going in Yetis.
Oh, it's definitely going into Yetis.
But it's also going in other decks.
Yeah, it's definitely going to go into other decks as well.
Wow. So not only am I Azurian Mysticing you, I'm also killing a creature in front of Azurian Mystic and then hitting you for a bunch.
Right.
Yep.
I like it.
Now this is a legendary spell.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I wish it said Utera on it so that I could have my plants from Wildwood Sower hit them. But then I realized that would probably be way too good.
Oh, what if you call the lightning and then Rage of Kadras?
Right?
Legendary spell synergy, baby.
Yeah, that would be broke.
So you play this in Yetis, and then you drop a Warlord and then drop this?
I mean, Warlord already kills everything
Finish
anyway.
off everything? Not everything.
Warlord's huge.
Yeah.
Just go boom and everything dies. If Lotus was Tempest, absolutely. If only this card was Utera, then it would be so much better, right? Because you just Echo Wisp and then Rage of Kadras and their whole board dies.
Well, imagine if you played this with a bunch of gnomes on the board as well. With what if it didn't care about it being Tempest creatures?
Just, good thing they made it Tempest creatures.
Yes.
Or this would be obscenely busted.
So commenting on what Nalanti said, everybody who entered the tournament agreed by accepting their invitation that they were going to play by the rules that were stated in the original document. We made sure everybody read the rules of the tournament by making them reply in their thread title with a hidden message that was in the rules. They all read it. They all agreed to it. So it's not that it's unfair. They all knew what they were getting into if there was a tie to break. Sorry to interrupt the spoiling. I just want to make sure that nobody claims the tiebreak method's unfair, because everybody who signed up agreed to it.
Yep.
Well, I don't want to play by the rules.
Well, then play Rage of Kadras and
we are not making the claim that this is the absolute best way to resolve a 5-way tie in a round robin tournament. But it is as good as any other. Opponent's record, which is often used to tiebreak Swiss events, doesn't work in round robin because all of these people played exactly the same opponents.
Yep. Yeah, Document had nothing with 5-way ties because we didn't expect a 5-way tie. But it did lay it out for all of the other kinds of ties, so it's pretty easy to extrapolate that was the direction that we were going to go to, even if it went to a 5-way tie. So, anyway.
I want to put this on chicken.
Chickens like Rage.
I don't believe that the document needed to specify a separate plan of action for each number of ties. It just said what would happen if ties happened. I think it'd be redundant if, in event of a 3-way tie, we'll do this. In the event of a 4-way tie, we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So by chicken, you mean Cinder Smoked Wyvern?
Is there any other chicken?
I don't know.
I think now we need to print another chicken.
Every deck that has Wyvern in it is automatically fried or frozen chicken. Your choice.
What if it has Iztec?
Then it's going to be fried frozen chicken.
So how are we doing this? We move Cinder Smoke Wyvern over, deal some damage, and then Rage of Kadros, kill whatever you want with a Cinder Smoke Wyvern.
Or the other way around.
That's kind of odd. Oh, you kill two creatures with your Cinder. Oh, because it gets. Oh my goodness. It gets more attack with the Rage of Kadros. That's crazy.
Yep. Good luck.
Oh, we got the list people as Forgeborn? That's awesome. The reheated chicken.
Mono Tempest Mobility Aggro. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to brewing some decks with this. I already have a deck in mind with it. It's the UT Aggro deck that I so dearly love right now, which just could use that little extra bit of, hey, now that I'm ahead, I'm going to stay here. Yeah.
It's like a Ferocious Roar for Tempe's, almost.
Pretty close, right? I mean, it kind of serves that function. Yeah. So, definitely a really great tool, I think, for the deck. So.
Yeah, no, it also has no level gating.
Yep.
As Derek mentions.
Yep.
So you have your level 3 creatures, and you go boom, and everything dies.
It's a super load appreciation card.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the price of not scale. I don't think it needs a scale. It scales with your creatures.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is as powerful as your creatures are.
Right.
Those are the best kind of cards in terms of being competitive playable.
I agree.
You aggro? You aggro?
I agree.
You aggro?
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
All right, so time to get. Are there any games going at the moment?
So there are a couple that were looking like they were finishing up when I was hopping around. Brakara is waiting for next match on a 5-min delay, so I don't know when that one's going to get started. I was kind of thinking we could hop in there because then that would be one that we know is starting for sure. Let me check and see. Actually, that's like the last game of that one, so let me take a look at this, see where we're at here. I'm getting chatted at.
They're probably outraged because of how bad their seals are.
Let's see. Yeah, that one's just about over. So, yeah, I'm kind of just thinking that we'll squat Brakara for when Bracar's next match starts up. Go ahead and cut over to that. And in the meantime, maybe look for something that might still be going in one of the other streams. Let's see here. So Hectares is actually technically playing in the tiebreaker. Let me see where that stream's at, because that might actually be interesting. Because his match, even though he's not on a bye, is able to go on right now because he's got an opponent. Yep, looks like that one's actually just barely started, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that one up on screen.
Awesome.
So.
Do we want to get the brackets for the upcoming round robin? The 5 o'clock one down at the bottom?
Yes, I will do that momentarily as soon as I get this the stream updated.
And these are all still best of ones, right?
Yes.
This, oh, jeez.
It'll be all the following weekend will be best 2 of 3.
Yeah.
Or best
Right.
of 3.
Right.
And I
Wow,
believe
so
we
Nick-
decided on a finals that was 3 of 5. I don't remember.
I
though.
believe that's the case, yes.
Nate Dogg, are you darken? Gotta be Katie. I typed in chat earlier. Looking because of past incidents when we brought on guests that were salty about their performance or their result in the tournament, we don't bring people who have finished their tournaments on stream anymore, regardless of whether they won or lost, because with nearly 100% accuracy, it's been a poor performance from them on the stream. That's not to say you would, just
Kind of policy that
it's
we've
something
taken.
yeah.
Grimgod Devourer is awesome here. And that art is also awesome. I think you have to Ferocious Roar, you just play like Devour Ferocious Roar. I think it gives
I
you
like
a
that
huge
play.
board.
All right, so
And
the,
especially, yeah.
the Group D Breaker bracket is now down below in the stream, so if people need to access that, it should be down there. And
Turkis didn't play today. He is very welcome to come join in if he wants to.
Yep.
He asked earlier, and we're happy to have him on.
His deck played, but
Yeah.
so it looks like he went for the Direhound instead of the Devourer. I don't know if I like that, but you know, it does let you keep the Brood Queen around, which is definitely worth something. And now he is over 100, so let the fun begin.
yeah.
Disappointed there's no Arborist.
Turkis is actually going to join us when he hops back from his errand.
Great, cool.
So we'll get another person on.
Sounds great.
Um, And yeah, whenever Radron gets back, you can take a hiatus for his car.
Cool.
If he's coming back. Is Radron lost forever?
Well, I think he died from
probably had
euphoria from
Yeah.
that from the hashtag moment that we had there.
Wow. So Darkin passes the turn with his opponent having a 7-7 and a 10-12 in play. That is a lot of power. Energy Surge. Alright, good start. He's going to need something crazy to get out of this.
JMO was Tetra's only loss and Pesha's only win.
Oh man, this has to feel terrible if you're Darkin.
What a way to start player level 2.
Yeah. He can also Varnish pack something back with the Tarsus. Oh no, you battle first, don't you? So you can potentially get the Goxin.
Yeah, I think so. Just to get the chance at that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think not battling first is a mistake.
Huge mistake.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Rectors.
Do it.
Holy Ghost, refresh your stream. Deck list for Group G should be down below now.
I haven't seen the link for that yet.
Oh, you posted them in the Skype chat.
Oh, Skype chat. I was looking on.
All right, they will be down there in just a moment.
They
sir.
will
I'm
be
sorry.
there in a moment.
I thought Race Car was in first place. Clearly, he's at the pit stop.
Man.
Wait.
105 to 26 on turn 1.2.
Yeah. Doom Rider is one powerful card.
Group G deck lists have not been posted, nor has
Not deck list, the bracket.
Okay.
Oh,
Deck
he wanted
deck
deck
list
list. I'm
will-
sorry.
Deck list will be up in another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, deck lists go up at a quarter of 15 minutes before the round.
Okay. Chat saying that he could have hit a Dire Hound, which is definitely true. Definitely true.
Okay, I will get the brackets up for Group G and H, which were just posted to me though.
Static Shock Battlebrand,
There's a concede.
and then Killian. Not going to cut it.
Yep, and that's it. Hectarius advances to the next round to try to win and into the top 16.
Yep. So since that one is waiting, let's see where Brakara is at. Brakara actually looks like it just started, so we will cut to that. And I'll get that all updated.
So many
Close down
streams
that one.
up.
So I'll go ahead and post Brakara's in the chat, so that way you guys can get there. And this is not that one. F round 4 against Kaitiri, no less.
All right. Dire Hound is such a powerful card. I think it's everywhere.
Actually, let's switch that around because I like it better this way.
Looks like Rageon is coming back on now, Race Car.
Cool.
So you'll get
All right, I
your
will
chance
be.
to take a slip away.
Yeah, I'll be back in a little bit.
Have fun.
Sounds good. Hi, guys.
Rageon, you missed getting to talk about Rage of Kadris. Do you want to say anything about it? We spoiled it.
No! But burning things. I hope you're excited.
I'm excited. That card's amazing.
A lot of people in the chat were extremely impressed is the word I'll use.
Yeah, no, the card is sweet. Yeah, what else can you say about that? That card's sweet. Let's see. I'm throwing up a multi-twitch so I can watch both sides of this.
David, Dire Hound is a rare. Nice try, though.
Let's see. Ooh. So, Kaitiri falling behind.
Yeah.
Rather quickly.
And this is,
It's a danger.
I mean, this is his first turn in player level 2, so he still has the opportunity to play a level 2 card here.
Yeah.
No, doesn't have it. Just going to... Okay, interesting. Dire error, good
God. Looks like Kuru is trying to replace Rageon.
You got a long way to
Who
go,
needs
man.
Rageon when we have chat?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, that's true. I'm starting to become superfluous over here. We have the chat replacing my puns, Kaitiri's replacing my shapers. So really, I'm just here to be a pretty face. Except you can't see my face, so that's right out too.
I mean, I can hear the tears in his voice.
Literally
So
hear them.
sad, guys.
These dog out. Good God. This chat.
Matillion27, I imagine that it's already been posted on Reddit. So if you go to reddit.r/Soulforge, you'll see it.
Also, I just wanted to interrupt quickly with some additional results. So, in Group E, we came very close. We came very close to another crazy tie, but Zwaxer was able to pull out a tough game against Ming as the King. Zwaxer takes second. Tetra Rain runs away with first, and that is Pod E.
You just
Congrats.
body.
I feel like that tends to happen a lot in these round robins.
Congrats to those guys for advancing.
Yeah, good job, guys.
This Devourer is quite large, by the way.
Yep. 7. There's very little that he can do here.
Yeah, and he's used 2 Dire Hounds already, so his deck's going to be pretty miserable going into the next player level.
Or really awesome going into next player level, depending on how many shapers and invokers he can actually get to stick for a while.
I don't know about this Invoker. I think I'd rather Roar, but...
Am I
But yeah,
behind? Yeah. Wait, what streams are we watching?
We are watching Bracaris.
Oh, okay. You're on Bakara's stream. That one's not loading for me, so I've actually got Kaitiri's up.
That's okay.
yeah. He's Kaitiri... No, Bakar is the one on the delay, so you're like way ahead of us, right?
Yeah, that's probably the problem. All right. I'll just pause Kaitiri's stream and jump back over to Bakara's. This multi-twitch tool is really cool, guys.
Yeah, no, multi-twitch is awesome. It's been around for so long. No spoilers from Kaitiri's stream.
Oh, is Kaitiri ahead? Like
Yeah,
not delayed?
because Bakar's on the delay and Kaitiri's not.
Gotcha.
So Brood Queen and another Devourer, really solid.
Yep. Man, Brood Queen.
It's a good card.
Is it Group G for Group Grimes?
Group
Oh,
Gaunt?
is Grimes playing too?
Yeah, Grimes. Coming up in Group G.
Awesome.
Group Grimes Gaunt?
Grimes Gaunt.
No, it's Grim Grimes.
Grim Grimes.
Oh, Grim Grimes.
Grim Grimes Devourer or Grim Grimes
Grim
Tomb
Grimes
Raider?
Devourer! Alright.
It was a Grim Grimes Predator. I think he's very Predator-like. And he gets to follow this up with a Brood Queen.
Ugh,
This is not looking great
Brutal.
for Kaitiri.
brutal.
No, this is really feels really hard to come back from.
Yeah, especially when you're a Tempest deck, you don't have great mass removal.
Yeah.
You could have like a Shaper 3 here, although I don't think you saw a Shaper 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it takes a crazy chain of Static Shocks and Flame something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flame something. And there's
Flame Stoke Shape.
Actually, a little insight from the other hand. He did actually see a Shaper 2, but he opted to play an Invoker instead.
oh, okay.
So he played
maybe
that
an Invoker.
the turn where he played the 2 Invokers, he had
Yeah.
a Shaper 2 in hand as well.
So Invoker 3 triple Static Shock might do it here.
Yep.
Triple Static Shock plus a spell.
So we didn't see it, which makes me think that was a burnout.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And he
fight.
takes the conflict rate. Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, Aetherphage is so brutal against a spell-based deck. Because it has to have spells to combo together. It has to have a critical mass of spells, or else the Invokers and Flame Shapers don't do anything.
Yep. No, it's tough.
Grimgaunt Grimes. When there's a misplay, throw the hat and gain +1/+1. I can respect it, Math the Magician.
That is the largest creature that Grimes has ever had. And that guy's played Arborist 3. All right. Well, I believe we're about to toss on another deck tech here in a minute.
Yay! More deck techs. I have a vested interest in them being played.
So I believe now we're gonna do Brian's deck tech. Radrian, if you want to, you did the interview. You're welcome to intro this. Then we'll go ahead and everybody else mute your mics.
All right. So Brian came out with. I'm trying to remember. I don't have the list right in front of me. But Brian was playing Gox Burn, in this in the Invitational, and we actually had a very long discussion, like over 20 minutes. So I spent a long time editing it down to about 10 minutes, just for time constraints. So you're gonna get the juiciest of our conversation. In the upcoming deck tech. So I hope you guys enjoy. Good morning, good evening, and good night, everybody. I am Radrian from Team ForgeWatch, and here we are with the deck tech portion of the ForgeWatch Invitational. I'm here with Brian. Now, Brian, you've been playing for quite a while, is that correct?
Yeah, I've been playing since pretty soon after this game came out, like in set 1.
So you're a longtime veteran.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, what you've done with the community, some of your competition history.
Well, it took me a while to get into playing competitively because, like, from just daily rewards and stuff, you don't get going very much.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually I started drafting so that I could get cards. And then from there I could go pretty much infinite and constructed. So then that was like probably closer to around set 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I first started playing constructed in the robots era. Yeah, that was kind of a struggle because I didn't have full robots, and it was the best deck.
So you skipped completely over the Shaper meta, jumped right into Grobots after drafting for a long time. Now, do you prefer constructor? Or do you prefer drafting?
It depends on like the drafting meta. Right now it's kind of boring, but I kind of like constructed because the other most fun card game I've ever played is just like Magic the Gathering.
Uh-huh.
I was playing Legacy.
Okay.
So it's like pretty focused decks with lots of options.
Very true.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you've been competing for you only really been competing in the season 2?
Yeah, I think I only played 1 in the first season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were some of your best finishes in this current season then?
I think I played like 3-ish. I got top 8 in one of them, and then at the World Champ Qualifier I got 17th, which was pretty lame.
Did you lose on breakers or?
Yeah, I lost on breakers.
That's always tough.
I always the tournaments are kind of I have kind of a bad sleep schedule, so the tournaments are like pretty early for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I always lose the round 1.
Okay.
Which is a struggle. And then my breakers are bad. Yeah.
Anyway, we're here to talk about your deck. So, what we have here is your AT control, as you've named it.
Yeah, you could call it Goxburn as well.
Goxburn. See, I like that name a lot better.
Alright.
All right. So we're gonna pretend that AT control's not up there, and we're gonna call it Goxburn.
Alright.
So I kind of broke this out into different types of cards. Can you tell us a little bit about this draw suite? Why you guys decided to include the Gox Ironmind Acolyte draw engine in your deck? All 3 of the Gox Energy Surge Ironmind.
Alright, so basically, when you're looking at the current meta, there's kind of like a few different really strong engines, and like, if you don't play them, you're gonna just get behind. So one of them is Gox, another one's Invoker, and then Another one is Pact and Direhound.
Mm-hmm.
And Brood Queen's its own engine. So basically, you have to pick, preferably like one or two of the engines to just like make a stronger deck. So for here, I kind of wanted to go for an outplay deck because I feel like just in a high level tournament, you're gonna need some level of outplay to just play like a constructed Q stomp deck. Like when you go against other good players, it'll just come down to variance. So you kind of need, like, I like to draw because it sort of puts you more in control potentially.
Fair enough.
It's kind of like in Legacy. Like my favorite card in Legacy is just Brainstorm because it just adds so much like skill. Yeah, it's just like you get to control like what you're doing, control your destiny more, which is nice.
Yeah, there's a reason why I tend to only play AT, and it's because I have this addiction to drawing cards. It is an addiction. I can't stop.
Yeah, like I spent like a fair amount of money on this game, but the only cards I've bought are Alien cards. Like I got the Acolytes because I just love that stuff.
Awesome. All right. So moving on, you said that you need to have engines. You need to be playing like one or preferably two engines in the same deck to really have success in the current meta. Here's another engine in its own way. This is your leveling suite. I know that the Ortec Battle Brand is also part of your removal suite, but we have 3 Killian Infinity Warden, 3 Aetherforge Oracle, and 3 Ortec Battle Brand.
There's only one Oracle, but yeah.
I'm sorry, 1 Aetherforge Oracle, my bad.
Alright, the Aetherforge Oracle story is, I kinda, like, Battle Brand is, like, ridiculously good, so, but you need Alien, and there's kind of only 3 really good Alien cards that fit the deck well, in my opinion. So I just put in 1 Aetherforge Oracle, to bump the allied count up by 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, so Killian is really nice because, Killian and Battlebrand together, they let you level up Scorchmane.
And, of course, 6 damage on Ortec Battlebrand is like the magic number of the meta for a level 1 card.
Is. It kills Gox, it kills Brood Queen, it kills, Invoker.
Yep. Excellent. This is your removal suite.
Yeah, this is the other, like, main engine. So, in my opinion, the main engines are the Gox and the Invokers. Like, Invoker's really nice because this deck could theoretically get behind in player level 1, but if they, like, grow wide too much, they can get punished just by, like, AoE damage from Flame Break Invoker.
It's true. A Flame Break Invoker is a mobster with a Tommy gun. He just sits there and just lays down covering fire.
Yeah, the only other AT answer to grow wide is sort of, there's 2 hate cards, Orion Justicar.
Yep.
Doesn't really work too well against Brood Queen nowadays, I think.
Okay.
And the other ones is Herald. And okay, so initially, I read Herald and I was like, oh, that card's good. And then, like, if you ever see what happens when you play Lotus, when they play Lotus and Grimgaunt Devour into your Herald, they basically grow a 50-50 Devour and just crush you.
Yep, that is a problem.
Kind of, the hate card just backfires, so it doesn't really work.
Okay.
So to play AT, you basically need a AoE hate. The only one that's viable, in my opinion, is Invoker.
Okay.
It also turns Flame Lance into 6 damage.
As we already said, that's the magic number.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to ask you about that. Is you've got the 2/2 split of Burnout and Flame Lance. Why those numbers?
I used to have 3 Burnouts, but I was just finding, because I think it's a better card than Flame Lance. There's Life Gain Brood Queen deck that really wants to be above 100, so I just want to make sure I have potential Flame Lance to knock them below 100 without losing tempo. So that's kind of why I needed Flame Lances.
Okay. And then on to the last slide, we have the bombs.
Yeah, basically, okay, so I played a lot of Winfinity as well, which is the combo deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a fair amount of success with that. Like I usually have about 75% win in the queue, but I have that with like every deck. But so with Winfinity, so my only reason to switch from Winfinity to this would be because like basically the best late game bomb in the game is Scorchbane Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So this has that. So you need 3 copies in my opinion.
Absolutely. Now, the Singleton Frostmane. Why?
I don't want to have to level Dragon inconveniently. Like I only kind of want to, or in certain matchups, I just want to level it like when it's convenient, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to end up getting caught with no dragons. So like, say 2 of the eggs are in the last 10 cards, then it would have made it too hard to level the first egg, potentially.
Yep.
It's just nice to have another dragon. It's not really a bomb as much, it's kind of like a mid-game card.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it has like okay stats early. If they don't kill it, it's another 6 health guy that gets value.
Tell me, how often do you actually trigger the Frostmane egg?
Depending on how much tempo they're doing, I might just chump block with the egg. Because gaining life is good. Like, if you get to player level 3, you're probably going to win.
That's actually really interesting, the Frostmane egg, just as a chump blocker. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the Frostmane slot was originally a burnout. Well, I switched it to a Frozen Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Then Frozen Solid, it felt way too clunky, because if you don't draw it at the right time, like, it just felt way too clunky, so I just replaced it with another dragon.
Okay. Brian, thank you so much for doing this with me. I'm going to end this deck with one final question. Should you win the Invitational, what card would you submit to Stoneblade?
Well, like I was talking about before, Brainstorm's my favorite card, so I haven't thought too much about how to fit it into Soulforge, but if I win, I'm definitely going to make an effort to try and make it like something like Brainstorm, like a fair card. Even if it's not Brainstorm, at least something where it's like draw 1, put 1 back, like on a creature, just so you can like fix your next turn.
Ooh.
Just somehow. I just want to be able to like manipulate my future turns is basically what I want. So if I win, I'm going to try and make a card like that.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you too.
All right, guys.
Much deck tech.
Much deck tech. Many crads.
Many creds. So, I think it's close enough to 5 o'clock, and our next round's not starting for a few minutes, that I'm going to go ahead and say it is giveaway time. And, Racecar, have you done a little hashtag yet?
I don't think I've actually made a hashtag yet.
I think it's time for you to hashtag it up.
So I'm going to make the hashtag something that I hope Rage of Kadros really brings to fruition. So the hashtag I'm going to make is aggro comeback. So give me a sec to type that in. And
is that an aggro comeback or is that aggro come back?
Either way.
Aggro
Sounds more desperate than another.
Come back.
So I'm going to go with the desperate sounding one.
It's probably the more desperate one because it has at least the UT aggro. So just hoping it makes a comeback. So I'm asking it to come back. So yeah, there's our hashtag, and you guys are already blasting it
They're
like
on
crazy
it,
in the
dude.
chat. Yeah.
You don't even know.
I don't even know.
So much aggro love. Yes, all caps.
Aggro, come back.
Sparkles Llama misses his buddy.
Yeah. So after that deck tech, we're hoping that we can hop in and see Brian's deck in action here in round 1. He's playing off against CMU Stewart, and so we're hoping, crossing our fingers, that he's going to be streaming. He has streamed in the past, so if we're lucky, we'll get to see it in action.
Has Notharian posted the deck list yet for Group G?
It's a good question. Let me see.
Yes, deck lists are in the same document with the other deck lists. They've been added.
Yep, so G&H. So I will actually update the information so that way it shows that we've got G&H, but the link is still down there if people want in.
And both of those rounds start in 5 minutes?
Believe so.
Perfect. So it's kind of sad that we don't have Fox on here, because I know that Fox is a huge proponent of the Gawkspur and Level Dragons win game strategy.
All right, so Stuart is up. He does have a handguard, but this will still be really interesting. I think it's going to be fun to see what Brian's deck is doing. So we'll stick to it here. And if we're lucky, he'll take down his handguard when it's his turn. Cross fingers.
CMU Steward.
Yeah, do you need me to post that in chat for you?
Por favor.
Yes, please.
I will do that. There you guys go.
Dankeschön.
Looks like he's showing off his deck list there for the tournament. Playing this Brood Queen deck.
A lot of Brood Queen.
Yeah, a little bit of the Nephrax going on there, just the one off.
The old Matrix Warden.
Mm-hmm. Before it got the art changed.
Before it got the attack changed.
Oh yeah, it's a 2/3 instead of a 3/3.
Mm-hmm. I wonder
Classy.
if that's old Sonic Pulse too. Then, oh, the good old days of old Sonic Pulse.
So
seems
much
to be an
stall.
issue with the deck list not being one of them not being listed.
Oh, well, we'll figure it out, and we'll make sure that it gets updated in that document. So keep your eyes on there, and we'll make sure that it gets up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a breaker line here for our roll.
Let's see. Garmgunt, Scatterspore, Tarsus, Direhound, Pact, Brood Queen.
Caffeine Crisis. Caffeine Crisis, you have won. So go ahead and type in chat. I'll go ahead and also get your name typed out there in chat, so that way you know. Congratulations, you have won a code.
A lot of Doom Rider.
Carnivorous just messaged me. He's like, I'm fine with this sweet advantage.
Caffeine Crisis. I was going through a caffeine crisis, then I found coffee. That's what I did on my break, was find coffee.
It'll be updated in a moment. I mean, honestly, if Dark Soul and Carnivorous feel comfortable starting a few moments late, they can.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm about to be. I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus.
Would the real Caffeine Crisis please stand up? Please stand up. Please
Is that
stand
all
up.
of us? Is that all of us?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Stop. Jitter time. Jitter, 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 jitter.
I agree.
Spoilers, reactions. Just going through all my chats. I'm falling behind. There's so many chats to watch.
So
deck
many
list should be
chats.
updated now. So you should be able to see Carnivorouse's deck list now.
So no response from Caffeine Crisis. All right, Caffeine Crisis, we're going to give you just a little bit of time left to make sure that you type in chat, so that way you can win this fabulous prize. And we'd hate for you to miss out, so...
Please come on down. You're the next contestant, and your prize is right here.
It's a new
The
card.
contest is literally typing in chat.
Yeah,
You just have to press a key and hit enter.
yeah. Or you can just roll your face across the keyboard and just make sure you end on the return key.
I did that once. I played a Rep Paladin and wow.
Oh, the good old days of Ret DPS.
I did that once.
Is it off cooldown? Press the button.
It's flashing. What do I do? Press it harder. Use your chin.
All right, we're going to go for a re-roll here. All right, so our new winner is Nilap2.
Because Caffeine Crisis was having a caffeine crisis.
Apparently so. Oh, there's Caffeine Crisis.
There's Caffeine Crisis.
Oh no! But
no.
we
You know
all
what? I'll give a prize to both of them if Nilap2 types in chat in the next 30 seconds. I'll give a prize to both.
Well, yeah.